record. We're live there. And let's go ahead and hit record there. Everything is up and going. There we go. And let me back up. You scoot up. You scoot forward.
That's perfect.
You scoot forward. I back up. And that way we can all fit in here and we get your beautiful face on YouTube also.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's all about you right now. All right. We are live and well, sitting here waiting for everyone to come on board on Instagram.
I see Maya Spa. Hey.
Hey guys. There's
Design.
Lashes by Ash. She is from Fargo. And Anna Marie, good to see you too. Yeah, she's the one I actually sat and had a good
pop?
Where they drink, pop. I think I don't know. That's Midwest actually. I think it's more of a Midwest. Or is that more of a Fargo thing?
Well, I don't know. Do you drink pop in
soda?
Fargo?
Pop or soda is the big question. And by the way, if you haven't seen Fargo yet, you should watch the movie or the TV show. You should want the first season of Fargo is really good, and after that, it's not so good. And the movie, obviously, if you're a Coen Brothers fan, that's one of my favorites. So anyhow, thanks guys for jumping on. So good to see you. Pop. All right, there we go. Awesome. Pop. And by the way, I got to sit down with Ash last week and have a very long talk about a whole bunch of things about running a business and so forth. Not sure if anything I shared was extremely helpful, but it was fun to sit down and talk shop and talk business, something I love doing as much as possible. So that was great. All right. So thanks guys for coming on. Today it's going to be a different episode in the sense that we're not going to do a whole lot of business talk. I think, at some point we all get a little tired of talking business like 24/7. And Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Michelle gave us a huge shout out over the weekend for our episode we did on Friday, where we answered 2 important questions. And so, but basically, should you reopen? And if you do, what was the question I just thought of? Reopening question. And
that's okay. It's quarantine brain.
It is a little bit of quarantine brain. And to discount. That's right. Yeah, discounting, whether you should discount or not. So thank you guys so much for following us and watching us. And thank you, Michelle. That's very sweet. And thank you, Ash. Appreciate it, guys. You're so cool. We basically are taking, if you haven't, or you're just dropping in and seeing this for the first time, either on YouTube or on Instagram, we're basically doing this thing where we're recording our Instagram lives 3 days a week and posting them online. So while maybe it's not as sexy and as cool, we're not having big, huge guests on like we've had on episodes before, or we're not sitting down breaking down the industry and talking about details as like we have in the past. We're just trying to create content that's useful for you during this time while we're on lockdown. Or hey, if you're in Georgia now, you're not, right? So congratulations, you guys are the first out the gate. Actually, I know some areas haven't fully locked down, and rightfully so. Probably if you've had like no cases, it makes sense. And there's Olga. Welcome. Good to see you guys. Yes, Beardcast. Thank you.
I know. It's like Grizzly Adams.
It's getting crazy. And I decided to wear the flannel today. And I'll explain that a little bit more. What's up with the flannel look? Not a flannel guy, by the way. I feel like, back in the 90s, back when this Gen Xers were young and rebellious, this was the rebellious thing to look like a lumberjack. I don't know why. Probably because they thought somehow they connected with the Seattle and the grunge scene and all that. So
he's like pulling it off as if it's an actual shirt, but
it's
for
not.
Those of you who can't tell, it's pajamas.
It's my pajamas. I am wearing pajamas, but that's for a good reason. I have a reason why. So we'll get into that a little bit soon. So, but anyhow, as I was saying, we're not doing the usual stuff, and we probably won't be for a while. By the way, if you guys do, though, really wish that we would just get back to interviewing people and talking about Lash topics, we're more than willing to do that. In fact, I have like 10 episodes in the can, and I can start just rolling those out. Some of them probably are going to feel a little dated now. I mean, we met with someone from Copsa Ate, April, and talked to her about accounting problems and things that most stylists deal with. And I felt like that episode now maybe is just throw it all out, because now all accounting has been messed up, especially if you've been doing things like in loans and all that.
Yeah, but I think the only good thing about that episode is that there's one point when the light bulb goes off and you realize, oh, I can perhaps be getting more tax credits and advantages, whatever the wording is, that I didn't think of before. And it might spur some people on to think, oh, well, maybe I should really hire a professional or somebody who's fine-tuned in this area of business, which is the beauty business. That's the only thing.
We don't know. I mean, we also met with someone who's launching a whole new type of lash service in our industry, and we met them at Serious Business. And then we also had some people we interviewed last year that we never posted their interviews. And then we also have things like things that you're doing wrong in your business. But again, some of the stuff may be dated and may not feel as relevant now with the changing world. And I almost feel like we need to rebuild the podcast to really cater what you guys are going through, especially now that if we are beginning to reopen, the economy is going to be much different. The landscape is going to be much different. And we did walk through a recession back in 2008 because we were in business back in 2008. So we know a little bit about walking through a time where people are wondering where money is and things are getting bad financially. And we're going to some sort of financial crisis. We don't know how deep yet, but it is going to be tough for a while. And so we would love to be able to share with you guys some of our stuff that we got through that time. So there's a lot of things. So anyhow, that all said, if you guys have things that you want us to talk about or deal with, please hit us up. Email me at paul@lashcastpodcast.com or just send me, a DM through this page here on Instagram or whatever way. I also respond to smoke signals sometimes when I'm out in the backyard looking for my fellow friends with I guess that's not going anywhere.
Pigeons.
But pigeons, yeah. We have carrier pigeons, yeah, or any other form of communication. Sometimes going in the backyard and screaming works well too if I'm close enough to your house.
Okay, just put that one to rest.
Okay, so I'm annoying my wife all of a sudden. I can tell Tess is like, okay, enough. So that all said, let's get into today. We're going to go over the good news, and then we're going to do something special, and hopefully Tess will be able to impromptu join us with some of this because we want to talk about some pretty cool. Yes, Morse code. Yes.
Okay, yeah, Morse code.
Oh, that one's a good one. Not me screaming out the backyard, but Morse code. That was solid. That was a solid idea. Okay, yes. You can tell. Yes, we've been living together a lot lately. All right, so let's move into today's one good news story. I'm just going to focus on one every time. This I thought was pretty cool. If you hadn't heard yet, Sweden and Austria are both going to shut down their last coal plants this coming week. That means no more pollution and that type of level of pollution that you're getting from those two countries. And they're basically joining Belgium, who actually stopped using coal back in 2016, which is crazy. That's 4 years ago. And hopefully a lot more countries are going to be joining them, especially from the European Union, will be joining them as there's a big push to get off coal, which is great. I mean, it's bad, obviously, for coal workers, but for environmentally, we all know how just much garbage this stuff produces, and to get off coal is a great thing. So anyhow, that's our good news. I think that's kind of exciting to hear that in the midst of all the craziness, there are good things happening as we speak right now. It's not all bad. So now let me get into what I want to call for today's episode is I'm going to share the 20 things I am thankful for from that have been really I've realized or have happened because of the coronavirus or I've just come to enjoy more during the coronavirus. Or I've come to enjoy during the coronavirus. So there's a lot of stuff I'm grateful for. And I really, this list is only 20. And I thought, Tuss, you can jump in or chime in or chime in on what you're thankful for. And then we'll just see where this goes. This is not rocket science. This is not going to be some life-changing stuff like how to change your business. But I almost want to do as an example to you guys as you sit here and evaluate, because it really is easy in hard times to focus on what you don't have, the focus on lack. What?
Well, I was going to say that as you go through it, if you're, listening along, you can think, well, in that moment, what would you pick, right? So
yeah.
It can be kind of like an exercise.
Yeah, this is just something that you, or hopefully you steal some of mine that you're thankful, like maybe you'll go, oh yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Because I'm actually had a lot of moments where I've like, the pig really wants us to be part of the thing here.
Oh,
she was trying to get her face in. Actually, she has no clue that we're recording, but
there she is.
We like to make her think she thinks things like she's human and that she's like a person, but far from it. She is totally close. Like you can put her right up to a mirror or right up to a TV and she doesn't see anything. Oh yeah. Hi. She's pawing me. So, and one time she's oohed. So what's that? That's when she goes, ooh, one time. She's never done it, but this one time a fire engine went by and she made a sound like a fire engine. It was awesome. And we've tried to get her to do it ever since, and she just won't do it. But anyhow, I basically digress. So let's talk about the first thing. Okay. I get to wear PJs and sweats every day. I am so thankful. That's what this is. Up here, I'll show you my top ramen. This is these are ramen PJs that Tusk got me for Christmas. Every year on Christmas, Tusk gets us PJs.
No, it's cup of noodles.
Cup of noodles, but they're ramen. I basically, I'm in a ramen kick. So I'm just so super happy. In fact, this is my lumberjack, or known as my night during the winter. I wear this during the winter at night because it's cold around the house, and it's my jammies. And I absolutely love basically get to do this every day. I don't mind. I wear suits every day, literally for the last like 10 years, every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes Monday through Saturday. I wear a suit like everywhere. If I go to trade shows, you'll see me in a suit. It's what I wear. Not my natural and happy place to be. This is where I like to be. Sweats, jammies, shorts, t-shirts. It's the best.
I don't like to wear pajamas all day, even though it's comfortable, because then it makes me feel slobby, like I'm not doing anything. But that's just me.
No,
but here's the thing. I have like this time because what I have been doing is wearing clothes that have been in my closet for a long time that I know I want to get rid of. And, but I just want to say one last hurrah, like for example, today, this is something that I've been kicking around for like 6 years and I just could not throw away. But
playing card shirt.
Well, it was like a Lindy Hop kind of like a swing dance.
Back in our days when we were Lindy hopping back in the 90s. Say hi to Tracy, and I'll say hi to Melissa. Melissa joined us, so that's very cool. So that's my first thing. I also get to wear slippers every day instead of shoes, and that has been, I think, the coolest thing. Getting to wear slippers every day. Kim is on board. Hey there. That's super cool. We are going through, for those who just joined us, we are basically going through the things we're thankful for. I just thought random 20 things I really am thankful for. I could have kept going.
So wait, about the thing about the slippers is that, having that flat foot, and it's just so wonderful on the hips, after years of wearing high heels. Oh my goodness, gosh. Right? So
yeah, Tusk used to wear high heels. In fact, she required all our staff to wear high heels.
We're not talking about that.
And it was definitely definitely a weak spot for us, but it was cool. It was cool. We definitely look back and enjoyed that season, right, of high heeling. All right, let's go back on. Oh, I love this. I get to read more books now. I have been wanting to read. I literally have probably like 25 books next to my bed. And I get through one like every 3-4 months, maybe.
It's like the petrified bookshelf, right?
It is.
Because they've been there for so long.
It's awful. I dust off my books so that I can one day read them again, or read them. Like, it's ridiculous. And I've been wanting to read these books, and I've gotten through a lot of, like, part of them. I like to part read through books, like, and mainly this. Actually, let me give you one tip about reading. I got this from another guy. He did a thing called thrashing. What he called thrashing through a book. And his idea is just every book has one main idea. Generally, they're trying to communicate. They may have all these subplots, these other stories and anecdotes, but generally speaking, most books are going to just give you one main idea that you can change your life or your business or something. And so that's all he was looking for with a book. He wasn't trying to find all the nuances and all the small things. And that's fine. There's some books that aren't written for that. But for him, he was more interested in getting all these main ideas from books versus understanding every nuance in it, because he read literally like a book every couple of days. And so with that in mind, I've done that with some books where I just read through sections, just get the main idea, get the main concept, and then I move on. So that's something, if you are more prone to not always wanting to all the nuts and bolts, but you're just trying to improve conceptual stuff, maybe philosophy or theory a little bit more versus getting all the nuts and bolts. Some books, like one book I'm reading, finishing soon, will be the story or Marketing Made Simple book, almost done, and we lost audience. Okay, it's basically a book where your marketing made simple. That's actually a step-by-step, very rare actually book where it tells you exactly what you need to do. So it just depends on how you approach it. But I love it. Reading books has been awesome. I've also gotten to take some online courses, and I've gotten through. I bought one last year. It was a really expensive one. And man, I felt stupid because and this happens all the time with online books or classes. Maybe it has with you. Maybe you bought some online courses and you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait. And then like 2 years later, you're like, man, I never took that class. Well, good news. You have no excuse now. I had no excuse. That's been awesome. Been to take some online courses. And tomorrow we're taking a class from StoryBrand on how to write better. And we're really excited about that. So
I just want to share. Yeah. Is it LB Lashes?
Yeah. Or live. Yeah.
Yeah. Waking up with no alarm.
Yeah.
I think that's actually one of my favorites.
I wake up with alarm still because Tuss likes to sleep in until I basically wake her up. I'm her alarm, or I'm the alarm. But I wake up pretty much every day. I try to wake up at 9. I'm sleeping in. That's another thing. I didn't write this down. I get to sleep in till 9, but I'm also up usually till anywhere from 1 to 3 in the morning. But which is for us, our ideal lifestyle was always wake up late, stay up late. And I do get a lot of work done. And so for that, I'm a side note, but I'm thankful for that. I've also gotten to talk to a lot of friends and colleagues and stuff like that, a lot more than we normally do. And that's been super cool. And also, I did where I could sleep in. I get to sleep more than ever. I usually would get 4, 5, 6 hours a night of sleep. Now I'm getting 6, 7, 8, sometimes 9 hours. Great? It's been crazy. So crazy for us. I think for most people, like, oh yeah, I get 7, 8 hours normally. Of course you do. We just never were wired that way, and now we're taking care of ourselves a little bit more. I just enjoy the slower lifestyle for me during this time. Just slowing down, not feeling so rushed every day. I can just enjoy my mornings a little bit more. Is the pig like turn the light on and off behind us? Because that's like light's going crazy.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Light's going on and off. Also, there's a thing called Tabletop Simulator. It's a board gaming app. Absolutely love it. It's been awesome. Been a real blessing. Also I know no one cares about that one. That's for me. That's purely mine.
I used to be like, oh my gosh, that's so like lame, That's so like, that's not my thing. Whatever. But you know what? What I love about it is that it's so refreshing to him.
And not to you.
No, it's so refreshing to, and it's like, don't we all need that? And like, so when you go and play, it's like
for 4 Saturdays in a row, me and like 4 to 6 other guys, we get online and hang out all day. It's starting around 10 a.m. and we go to midnight. So I know for most people like, oh my gosh, that sounds like death. I get it. But for us nerds, it's been a blessing. It's been awesome.
It's kind of a sweet little story. His best friend, his wife, she passed away, but she once told me, because they would go off and do board game adventure weekends together. And I was always like, oh, that's so lame. And she was like, oh, it's great. I just love it when he goes away. And I was thinking, what is wrong with her? Right? And she's like, because he comes back refreshed to me and he's more available. And I was like, I just didn't, like, a total light bulb went off in my head. And I didn't realize that time away from me, this is like one of those maturing moments when I was younger, when I realized that, it's not a bad thing for them to be refreshed in other places, and then come back and be more available. So yeah. Anyway, that's a shout out to Patricia.
Yeah, Patricia. She was an amazing woman. Also, I enjoy, we have a little patio in the backyard. It's not a nice thing, but anyway, it's kind of has a junky bag. It actually has a couch or has a mattress our bed mattress that we've been
wait a minute. Just, it's not like a moldy couch.
No, it's not moldy. It's just
we just propped it up there like less than a week ago.
Oh, stop it! Not a week ago.
It's
been there since like January.
How time flies.
Yeah, it's been there a long time. It's way over. It stayed. But we basically did not get a chance to get rid of it. We were going to get to it, and then this all happened, and then I delayed it. So She's
been learning to bake, but it's getting harder to fit in her pants. Shirley, you are not alone. I think that we're all struggling with that same thing.
Actually, it's crazy enough. I haven't gained weight. I've been eating more, and I've been very thankful. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm totally gaining weight.
Yeah,
I'm totally eating.
Tess is eating a lot of bread, a lot of carbs. She's really disciplined usually, but not as much. And I've had a lot more beer at night, I think, than I have.
We're all into the comfort zone right now.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what?
I've been enjoying a drink or two here. And I've also enjoyed, I was going to say, I'm really thankful for ramen. I had banned ramen from my life 5 years ago because it's so unhealthy for you. But during this time, it's so easy. And this is literally probably my favorite thing. Ramen with a hard-boiled egg. I can literally eat that stuff forever, every day. I never grow tired of it. And it's like childhood comfort type food. So I went back during the season. I have given myself a break from the routine. Said, okay, all right, going to eat like stuff I like. Now we've been eating healthy, still having the green shakes and not so much the mush, but the green shakes. And it's been good. And it's been a good time for us to eat a little bit more what we like, but without paying too much penalty, right? It's just been a couple pounds, nothing too major, nothing that a couple of days that once we get back to it, we'll be healthier than we were before.
Famous last words.
Oh yeah. Christine wrote, they used to call the freshman 15. Now it's the COVID-19. There you go.
How clever is that?
That's pretty funny. That's very funny. So, all right. What else am I thankful for? Oh, the back patio. I was just finishing that idea. So we have a little patio. It overlooks a small little yard with our building. We live like a 1940s, what we call World War II home in LA.
It's like a World War II bunker.
Yeah, it's like a bunker. It's an old place, and it's and we rent, so it's kept up well enough, I'll just say. But our backyard, it's not the most pristine, beautiful thing. But you know what? Right now, just going outside and sitting there and it's green and it's like the perfect weather in LA, it is actually extremely peaceful and quiet. I love going out there in the morning. I spend my time. I get to spend some time like meditating and reading my Bible and just praying for you guys. I know some of you guys have asked for us to pray for you and praying for my family. And it's just a time to stop all the craziness. And I love that. It's usually when Tessa's sleeping. This is when I get to do that. And it's been wonderful. The kids are not around. And I know everyone, especially the little ones right now, finding that quiet time is really key. My kids are all over 20, so it's easier. They're not so loud, only when they want money or something right now. There's no money to get.
Right now they're satiated.
Yeah. So that all said, it's been special. I really love that. And that's just something I'm really going to fight to keep in my life. And that just means like when we get back to work, I'm going to get up earlier and get out there in the mornings and enjoy it. Even when it was raining, I would just bundle up in sweats and sweaters and go in the back and sit there in the rain. And it was cold. It was wonderful. I loved it. I love that time I've gotten to do. And I really want to make that part of my life. Really thankful, by the way, for things like TikTok, Instagram, and other social media. We made our first video. If you didn't see it last week, we were going to think about another one this weekend, but didn't do it. So we'll come.
You can see our backyard in that.
Yeah, you can see our backyard. So anyhow, Dal said, loving these new tools, these ways of connecting and ways to entertain and see other people. I mean, beforehand, you basically only had TV or going to movies. Now there's all these other user-created stuff, and it's from people we love. I mean, watching Jamie from LashBase, and while he's been doing it on TikTok and watching you guys on Instagram, it's been really cool. It's been special to connect with you guys. I'm very thankful for Tusney's cooking. I mean, Tusney, we never talk about this, but when we first got married, Tusney was this exceptional chef. I mean, she made really high quality, good, really great food. And she actually got accepted. She'll hate this when I said it to this Culinary Institute of America. And she was going to go there when we got married. But all right,
before we got married.
Point of View Design is saying goodbye. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. And anyhow, that said, she started cooking. She started making bread. She makes the best omelet in the world. Like omelets you think are kind of boring, kind of like cheese and some, I don't know. I was going to say lettuce, but there's no lettuce. Cheese and egg, whatever. Not a lot to it. Maybe some bacon, onion, whatever. Tusney takes this whole fresh approach and puts a lot of good ingredients, and it's actually very little cheese, which is surprising. Because for me, I always thought the best omelets had to be like running over with cheese. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And she makes food from scratch. It's been something we don't enjoy normally. Usually everything we take is I don't cook. I just reheat food, like Trader Joe's kind of food. Take it, throw it in the pan, cooks in 5-10 minutes, and then you serve it because you're just reheating. That's my type of cooking. And so having her making fresh stuff has been really special. I also love that during this time, I already talked about ramen. It's been awesome. I was doing my food.
That's really nice of you to say that publicly.
Oh, you're welcome. She's like, you haven't said to me personally yet. So, you're welcome. Also, I like that. Also, life can be a lot more simpler than I thought.
Yeah, just like when that moment when he says, "Yeah, I found what I learned to live." I mean,
what?
I can never retell the joke. I can never tell the joke right.
What was that?
I found out that I only need 2 pairs of underwear to live.
Yes. I found out how simple my life could be. I need a clean pair of underwear, and then I have a dirty one, and then I clean the dirty one while I'm wearing the clean one, and then the next day I swap them. So
it didn't mean for that reaction.
I just had the reaction because I'm so proud that I've learned something very important about how minimalistic I can be with my underwear, even though I still have like 1,000.
Kind of mortified, actually.
That. You were mortified.
But that's totally you. It's totally like simple
Paul. Thank you.
Simple mind. That sounds so bad.
Just give me a ball string. I'll bat it with my hands. I'll just sit there and play with the string for hours. I can just play with the ball string. I'm like a cat. All right. Awesome. So anyhow, I just living a little more simply, guys. My days are really straightforward. I have a schedule, and I basically in the morning do my routine, wake up. Most days I've been riding my bike now lately, indoor bike, not running around the neighborhood. And then I sit in the back porch, have my coffee, and then then I read the news, and I go through my email, and then I start my work by noon. I'm going from noon till like 8 o'clock or so. I'm working, and then I hang out, have dinner, and we watch a show together. And then after that, I do some reading, and that's it. That's like 5 days a week. The weekends I kind of break it up, do new things, but it's been a very set schedule, and it's very simple. And I actually love it. I actually really love it. And so it's been really cool, and I can't complain. I know it's not for everyone. I know some people want to be stimulated and have lots of different things going, like many, and I was like that a lot when I was younger, especially when I was younger. I would say if I was home, actually, I remember thinking in my 20s, if I'm home in my house on any one night, I thought it was the end of the world. I just thought I have to be out every night. I have to be either working or with friends, having fun, hanging out with people. That was what it was. Tess was much more, right? You were cool hanging out at home every night.
Totally.
Yeah, she always was fine with that. Which is why this has been more comfortable for you, right? As an introvert, not so tough.
See, I think what's hard for some of us, and myself included, about the quarantine is that, or what we miss pre-quarantine was the structure of the demand of the routine, right? Because it does create a certain amount of structure.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes, I mean, because like you, I actually mirror everything that you say in terms of the slowing down. I like that part. But that's also, I don't know.
Okay. That COVID brain once again kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good, profound thought.
Shoot, I couldn't wrap that one up.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
All right, well, that's good. And I was reading my next thing, so I wasn't even fully listening either. I was like, well, I'll get on to the next one. Active listening, that's a real skill in life, right?
You know what
listening.
I think it is that I think we're up to here with each other.
Oh, that is not true. I personally am not at all. Not at all. Yes, life has definitely been stressful. I'm not going to not lie and sit there. That's not been stressful. But I definitely think that, there have been so many positives that have helped offset the stress and the hardships. I mean, truth is, just a side note, financially, I think we're doing so horrible right now, right? I mean, we literally lost all this money on the last cruise. We lost our business last year, and that cost us a ton of money. And now Tusney, who basically without me making money through LashCon or last cruise, she's our sole breadwinner right now, and she's not working. So we have zero revenue coming in for like 6 weeks. And in California, they're talking, I've heard even now possibly go until June. So, it could be pretty bad for us. A lot of lost money. Now, thankfully, there are resources and we've, gotten unemployment. So there are some positive things, but at the same time, it's not easy. And it's definitely been a little stressful, but let's get back to the positive stuff. I just want to acknowledge that because I realized I was going to say it in the beginning. because I don't want to be all Pollyanna. And I know some people are like, guys, this has been the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And I don't want to ignore you and say your disappointment or your struggle is not legitimate, or that you somehow don't get it, or we have it all better than you. No, that's not true. We don't have it. This thing has been an equal opportunity offender in a sense of making life difficult for most people, unless you're extremely rich and well off and have huge savings accounts. You look at this and this is maybe a good time for you to reassess your life and slow down. But for most of us who have some savings, but not tons, you didn't plan to spend your money on these things. You're not planning to lose your money on this stuff. Or if you have no savings because maybe you're younger and you just started out and you didn't have that kind of money. So this has been hard on all of us. And I want to acknowledge that. But at the same time, we can, in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the difficulty, find the good things that are going on in our lives and focus on those and use those to motivate you and help you use that as a way to get through each day, to see the good and not just focus on the bad. Because I think like any downward spiral, the more you think about the bad, the worse things are. And the more you think about the bad, it keeps going back. It's like a self-feeding, destroying circle. Yeah. And so for me, I found that, and I've always been kind of this optimist. I mean, Tess knows that. She goes, we very much look at the same glass. I'm like, wow, it's half full. And what will you say? Yeah, it does. Right? Yes, that's what you say. Yeah. Or you just say, it's not enough. Yeah. I want more. Right. And that's kind of the way we're wired. I think a lot of us are wired that way. We're wired to always want more.
Yeah. But you're always wired with a joyful outlook, and the cup is full.
Or full enough, I like to say.
Full enough. Two underwears.
Yeah. 2 underwears is all I need. Thank you. All right. Anyhow, so the next thing I want to share, or I'm thankful for, is Netflix. Really, seriously, Netflix or Hulu or all of these things. Can you imagine, guys, being locked in our house right now and all we had was like cable TV where you have to watch the shows when they tell you when to watch them? That's just a few years ago, guys. That wasn't like 20 years ago. We grew up, we had 3 networks as kids. Mm-hmm. 3 networks: NBC, ABC, CBS. There was no Fox and PBS if you count that as a network. And you had to sit around, and we were one of the first families that had VHS. Ooh, VHS. That advanced technology, save and record stuff. You can watch it later. So for us, I've been so thankful for that. I love how we've have so much access to so much new things. I mean, look back for us. I mean, we've been to go back and watch documentaries, classic movies, anime, like things that used to wait for to come from Japan. We just go online and there's tons of anime that we watch with our kids, and we have a blast doing that. That wasn't possible in years past. And that's really cool. In this time of season, there's actually, as you probably realize, there's more things that you can watch than you have time for. So you have to kind of be picky. But it's just cool that we have a choice versus the old days of watching infomercials at night and watching some stupid talk show during the day with Phil Donahue or something. And let's see what else. Well, it's pausing there. Let's see what else. For me, I think I've enjoyed this time as far as my perspective change. I've seen some nice perspective changes on me to what's really important. For instance, I want to learn more, and I want to be with people more. Those are 2 things that have really come out of this for me that, hey, what do I really want to come out and be changed in my life? Well, I definitely want to have more time for people like my wife, even though we work together, but just make sure we are bonding and we're connecting, and to connect with my friends, my family, my kids, and other people in our industry, just trying to find ways to reach out, talk, and connect with people. I think that's something that's been a wonderful blessing for me, a mind shift that I've had from this. And as well as wanting to learn more. I just love the idea of learning. I love reading books. I love the stuff online. I love all the podcasts. I've been reading the newspaper a lot. I just really enjoy all this information and really growing that way. And that's something I really want to keep. When we end this, I don't want to put that in the shelf. Say, well, that was good for that season, and now back to the craziness and no time for people and no time for learning. Another thing is basically, I'm just thankful to see all the kindness and support going around in our industry. I think it's been neat to see so many people reaching out to us, people just randomly saying, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? And all that, as well as us checking with other people and then seeing the support and people commenting. And I don't know, it's just been neat. And what's been cool to see is some people have just been really open and honest and, guys, I am going through a really hard time. This has not been the best season for me. This has been a dark season for me. And they've been open enough to just share that and let people know. And people have rallied around, sent them notes, and done nice things for them. And that has been extremely heartwarming and encouraging to see kind of like people doing the right thing and with no financial benefit, no, like, I'm going to get to have you buy my training or like that. Just be kind to people and support people. And that's been really cool. Did you have something? I thought you, okay.
No.
I was cutting you off there for a second.
Okay.
So, and then almost down with our list here. Also, I really am thankful that I get to hang out with Piglet. There's Piglet right there. She's like, what? Huh? Hi, Piglet.
There's something special about wanting the things that you have and loving the things that you have. Like when I say wanting, it's like I try to train myself to want what's in my closet, because I feel like that's what makes me happiest the most, is when I'm satisfied in what I have.
Mm-hmm.
The times that I have been most unhappy are the times where I'm looking elsewhere outside of
coveting and envying.
I'm thinking,
yeah,
they have it better, or I want something, but why don't I have that? So I don't know, it's a good exercise to want what you have. So it's like, like our dog, just even loving our little pet more, it just makes you happy with what you have.
I think really when you look at the world, Americans, we forget, those of us, and there's some people listen to us overseas, so maybe it's always different depending where you live. We as a whole, as a society, are extremely blessed. We have so much. I mean, even when we were broke and stuff like that, we still had cell phones and we still had a car to get around. We never wanted for food. We didn't know where our clothes were going to come from. We had a shelter. We had all the basic needs. We've always had all those things all our life, and even the
like
good and the bad.
Right?
Shoes, all that. Even when we were broke and destitute and the company was shutting down and things were going horrible for us, we still had the basic necessities. And I've been to Cambodia and I've met people who didn't have those necessities. And I've seen people who have so little. And then you can go to China, you can go to India, you can go to much of Southeast Asia, you can go South America, Africa, and many developing countries, and they do not have anywhere access to the things that we have.
Access to information or medicine or clean water, those kinds of things.
So we are overly blessed, and we have so much. So when you take it from that perspective, there's so much more you need to be thankful for. You can be I can sit here and our podcast will go out to like 3,000 plus people. And then this thing will get 100, 200 people to watch on Instagram, and then 2 people watch on YouTube, but whatever it is, it's a new platform for us, and it's not very cool looking. But that said, we can communicate with so many people through this little tool. In the old days, you had to get broadcasting equipment. You had to get your own radio, or you had to, get everyone's mailing list and send out letters, again, newsletters to communicate with large groups of people. I mean, it's easier than ever to build a following and to communicate with people and find ways to connect and serve people, right? So, I mean, it's just so much good going on for us. Even as we go into this dark time, potentially with this hard economy, there are more tools available to you at low cost for you to reach out and get clients than ever. And that used to be a really hard thing. You used to have to do mailers. You had to advertise in newspapers. You had to advertise in radio. You have to go out and to find all sorts of print media to get things done, which was always very expensive. But now, that's not the way it is. There's things like Google ads, Facebook ads. There's just plain communicating with people with your base just through Instagram and other tools. So it's so changed. There's so many good and exciting things. It has never been easier to build a business than today. Never been easier. So for that, I just want to give it a big, as a total sidebar, but just being thankful for what we have and the opportunities that we have, and seeing those opportunities and taking advantage of those opportunities instead of looking at all the bad stuff. Oh, we don't have this, or my clients have left, or someone got sick, or this has been going, and seeing all the bad things and not seeing yes, those are bad and those are hard and it's going to be difficult. Man, I have all these resources today that I never had before. And for that, I am extremely optimistic for our industry, for people, for businesses, that we will have to change. As we talked about this book a month ago, Who Moved My Cheese? Yes, the cheese is being moved immediately right now, and we all have to pivot and we have to hustle and we have to work a little harder for a tiny bit. But I think we all can get through this and find a way to do a much better business for ourselves, and hopefully a better future for ourselves, where we're not as overworked and stressed because we don't have these tools. Now we're going to start having to be forced to use them. We're going to have to use online tools more. We're going to have to find ways to communicate through Instagram, TikTok, and other ways to find clients, because beforehand you kind of didn't have to. But now I think more than ever, we're going to have to get more savvy. So that's good. I think that's all cool. Let me share 2 more things that I'm thankful for after going off my little rant here, and then we'll go from there. Second to last one is I have gotten to hang out with my grown kids every day. And if you guys don't know us that well, we have 3 kids. One lives about 5 minutes from us. He's 28. Then we have a 24 and 20-year-old. And those 2, the younger ones, live with us 24/7 because they can't. Well, one has a part-time job, thank goodness. And the other one's in school full-time. And basically, they're here all day, every day, 7 days a week. And I love hanging out with them. I love getting to talk to them. Yes, there's difficulties. Yes, there's moments of stress. Yes, it is cramped quarters in a sense. We do not have a big, giant house. But that said, we still enjoy each other's company. And for that, I feel like this is my last hurrah, because they're all going to be moving out in the next year or two, because they're going to be going, on, get careers, have jobs, all that stuff. And that's going to change. Everything's going to change. It's just going to be Tess and I and the pig. That's it. And it's going to be a little more quiet, a little more lonely. And for that, I am so thankful for this season to be able to have a lot of good time with them. And then lastly, I really mean this, I get to hang out with my partner and my favorite person in the world 24/7, Piglet Pig. No, I'm sorry, Tusney. I get to hang out with you. And weird enough, I know that we've worked now since 2011. Pretty much we've spent most of our time working together, nights, weekends, going conferences, traveling, business stuff. And I've never grown tired of hanging out with you 24/7. I just don't. I love it. We have fun. We like stupid things. We make animal sounds and just really goofy stuff and play with your little stuffed animals and stuff like that.
Okay. Tell everybody all the dumb things I like. I mean, I razzed him about being a nerd, but probably I deserve it too. So
yeah, this is my payback. But I really do enjoy that. I know this is not for everyone. Some couples I know thrive better when you have that time away and you get that space and you come back and you feel invigorated because you've been away from each other. And as they say, distance
makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, that whole idea. That was never for us. I think we've always enjoyed spending pretty much we drive together to work. We have one car. We do everything together.
Yeah, I know. People do say, don't you get tired of that? I don't know. I do so enjoy doing life with you, and I just enjoy doing it together, like every day. Like our schedule's the same, and
it's been. That's why working in business care has been fun, and there was probably a little bit unhealthy codependency going on here.
There probably is. He covers for my lack of engagement, like on email and technology and stuff. So
if you reach out to Tuss, email, DM, text, whatever, I'm usually the one that will respond, or at least tell Tuss, hey, you need to respond. And you need to let them know this person's important. So if you've ever been dissed by Tuss, it's not been intentional. It's just she doesn't like responding. She's just not. This is not in her DNA to respond or.
So we've been really vulnerable on this episode. It seems like
it has been. We've shared a little bit behind the curtain, a little bit who we are.
Friends.
But this is our community. We love you guys, and we're just trying to be open about it. And I just wanted to get you guys thinking, some of the things that you might be thankful for, because I think you've seen this. I mean, I've seen all our thankful journals. I don't have a thankful journal, but that said, I think it's just a mindset. It's not so much something you have to do on paper. And if you struggle with it, yes, maybe get a thankful journal. Maybe once a day you can just write in your computer. If you have tools like what was that? I'm thinking Evernote is a great tool that if you don't have, it's a free tool where you can literally create files and save, or you can just do it on a Word document, or if you like old school, get a little journal and write in that. That's helpful. I know people who write a thank you notes every week to people. Just let them know, hey, I'm thankful for you and what you do, or maybe a thankful thank you email, letting people know, especially if you have a team right now, more than ever, they need that encouragement. They need that help. So letting them know and being thankful to them. And it's just a muscle. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more natural it gets, and the more you're just used to doing it. And I just think that is something that during this time you could be doing as a positive in your life to help you get through the hardships and the disappointments and the pain and the loss and the fear, right? Because there's a lot of fear right now because the unknowns, and thankfully I feel like we're even getting a little bit more known of what's going on, and hopefully that is going to help us too as we get to know more exactly what we're up against and how it's all going to play out and how it's going to affect our life. I'm overwhelmed with emotions of thinking going back. That's from Painted. Is it Painted L? Yeah.
Right. You know what? At least we have at minimum like a couple of weeks.
Well, no, it just depends on where you are. Some people are starting right away, and some people are not. Yeah. And some people are going to be much longer.
Painted one, where are you?
Yeah, where are you located? We in California, it's going to be longer, but I know some states like Oklahoma, I think it was, Georgia, or like in Texas by the end of this week are saying you can. Oh, Georgia. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, okay. You're right in it. And by the way, I know some states are going to be rolling it out at different levels. Like right now, I think I was reading about Texas. They're going to allow a lot of businesses, but the one thing they're going to allow is haircuts and facials and stuff like that because you touch people, and they're going to delay that. It's going to take people a little bit more time in Texas, I think, to get back up to going.
What about optometrists? Because they
May 19th. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so in Texas, May 19th. So they're definitely pushing back as beauty professionals. We interact a lot more closely, and they're concerned about that versus a restaurant or other places where you can wait. So, it is scary. And it's overwhelming because maybe you got kind of used to the slower lifestyle too, and all of a sudden you realize your demand may be through the roof. I know with testing, we plan to be working probably 12-hour days, 5 days a week for the first 2-3 weeks just to get everyone back in. And even then that's probably may not be enough. And at the same time, we don't know because there's this little bit of fear like, well, what if people don't come back? What if some people take a break? What if some people are still scared, which we expect that will happen? So there's some of that. And so, but by the way, definitely listen to our episode we just did if you want to know where we talk about reopening. Should you reopen or not, and what things you should have in place before you reopen. So we do cover some of that and discuss some of those ideas. And I feel like we will be talking about that more in the future in other episodes. And then also the discount. Now, I know I've been hearing people talking about discounting, and we're not big fans on that. Just be letting you know. So listen to that episode. That hopefully will give you some encouragement on how to approach your pricing, because discounting could be the worst thing you do. You're going to overwork yourself, make less money. And if you took any of these loans, you may owe money, and all of a sudden your costs are higher, or you have to spend more money to keep your place, clean. You're going to have to have all the things. Is like now I'm thinking. You're going to have to do more things. They're going to cost you more money to keep your salon ready. And so if that all costs you more money, why are you discounting? If you discount and you raise up your prices, you raise up your costs, that's a good way to go out of business. So, great. So you lower your prices to get everyone in, and you spent more time. Your costs went up. Maybe you'll go out of business in 2 months instead. That's not good. You don't want to do that. Let's see what else. Anything's here. Let her talk as well. Looks good. Are you talking about me or talking about Piglet?
No, probably let me talk.
Okay, talk. Good. You have something else. Sorry.
No, I can't remember what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
I got to tap dance now. I remember.
Anyhow, so that all said, guys, we're here to help you. If you have questions, you want to reach out to us. We want to support you too. I don't have infinite hours, but definitely if you guys need some help or some thoughts or some questions or not sure how to approach reopening, let us know. We want to support you guys. Yeah, she's digging on us like crazy right now. So the pig is telling us, end this thing. I need your attention now. This is a thing. So otherwise, guys, thank you so much as always for listening, for being part of this. And we really do love all of you, and we love our industry. We want to help out any way we can. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 6 p.m. And we do ask that if your only thing you can do to help us out is to share this with your friends. Post it on Instagram, post it on, take a screenshot of the actual podcast. This will be on the podcast later, and just let people know about us and get the word out. We really appreciate all that, because that's how we continue to build our base. Well, she's literally climbing over into our laps. Okay. Wow. She's pulling my headphones off. All right. That's a first. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We love you guys. We will see you again on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
Piglet. I'm trying to hit end.
I feel like that was a lemon. for me.